Now, 11 days ago, NTV Uganda, our sister station, ran a feature asking a pointed question. Is General Muhoozi Kainerugaba above the law? Tonight, he appears to have answered. Uganda's Chief of Defense Forces and son of President Yoweri Museveni has ordered the indefinite shutdown of the nation media group's entire Uganda operation. NTV Uganda, Spark TV, The Daily Monitor, KFM, Dembe FM, all dark tonight. Their premises under military siege, their managing director being hunted. The East African region's press bodies say this is one of the gravest assaults on media freedom in the region's recent history. Meanwhile, Nation Media Group Uganda has this evening released a statement.
NTV Weekend Edition this Saturday.
This was the last live news broadcast from NTV Uganda on Saturday evening. Just after midnight, soldiers moved on the Nation Media Group headquarters in Namuwongo, Kampala. By 5 a.m. Sunday morning, NTV Uganda and Spark TV had gone dark. KFM and Dembe FM fell silent. Staff inside were told no one enters and no one leaves. The orders did not come through Uganda's Communications Commission, nor through the Media Council established under the Press and Journalism Act. It came through X from a man in military uniform.
General Muhoozi's X account feed reads like a thriller script.
Just over a week ago, NTV Uganda aired a feature asking whether General Muhoozi Kainerugaba had become Uganda's untouchable lawbreaker, examining his prolific and provocative social media posts, from threats against neighboring countries to remarks targeting opposition figures, and asking whether he had placed himself above the law. In a sequence of posts through the night and into Sunday, General Muhoozi announced, escalated, and celebrated the shutdown. At 1:02 Sunday morning, he said NTV and Monitor are being shut down from today. Minutes later, he says both NTV and Monitor will not reopen without my permission. By 9:47 a.m., he was explicit about where he believes his authority originates, writing that he had the power to shut down any media house in Uganda since 2017, a power given to him, in his words, by his father, the president. And by Sunday afternoon, as if to mock any notion of accountability, he posted that he had heard the closures were costing NMG $5 million a day and described that as, in his words, good news. But what does the law actually say? Uganda's own constitution is ambiguous. Article 29(1)(a) explicitly states that every person shall have the right to freedom of speech and expression, which shall include freedom of the press and other media. Article 41 provides the right to seek, receive, and impart information. And Articles 44 and 45 protect media freedom and prohibit any derogation from those protected rights. The Press and Journalism Act of 1995 further specifically protects the freedom of the press, outlining the rights and responsibilities of media organizations. No provision in any of those laws grants the Chief of Defense Forces the power to silence a newsroom at midnight via social media.
Can Museveni be hosted on NTV? There is no hostile media house in Uganda kakati towards NRM and the President Museveni like NTV.
But more disturbing is General Muhoozi's targeting of NMG Uganda's managing director Susan Nasibirwa, writing that he was looking for her, that she would be disciplined, and instructed all police patrols to arrest her on sight. The language used to describe a woman media executive as a small girl who cannot cause chaos was as revealing of his disposition as the shutdown itself. Uganda's government spokesperson, Alan Kasuja, appeared to have intervened. Muhoozi posted that his brother Kasuja had asked him to leave Sue to him and that police patrols were now on standby. It was the only moment that suggested any internal checks on the general's authority. The region's press bodies have not minced their words. The Eastern Africa Editors Society called the shutdown a grave assault on press freedom and the public's fundamental right to receive information, urging the African Union, the East African Community, and the African Commission to press for the immediate restoration of press freedom. The East African Press Councils, in a separate statement, reminded governments that the answer to grievances with the media is not troops, it is the compliant mechanisms the law already provides. Incidentally, the Daily Monitor marks its 30th anniversary this Sunday. For a station that dares to ask the tough questions, like if General Muhoozi acts as if he's above the law, it turns out the answer is yes, at least for now. Catherine Omwando, NTV.